And this is going back to, again, childhood trauma of when you grew up in the environment where people around you did not give you enough validation of who you are. They were constantly gaslighting you of like, you say, well, I'm cold. They're like, no, you're not cold. Or like, oh, I'm scared. They're like, no, you're not scared. Or like, oh, it's painful. And they're like, no, it's not painful. You know, when you grew up in the environment that the part of you was not accepted and not loved, you learned out of survival to take it away. You know, like that part of you, you're like, you know, I will never show this to people. So for example, somebody loves singing and the family says, well, you just suck at singing, never sing again. For example, that's what happened with George Michael.
You don't know if I'll ever do this again.
Check this out then. Modern day Elvis.
Ladies and gentlemen, George Michael!
Apparently when I watched the documentary about his life, I was like, really? Oh my gosh. Sometimes parents do funny things. So anyway, so when you imagine like you want to sing and they tell you, no, you suck. So then you think, okay, I'm going to stop singing and I will never open my mouth because, you know, I suck and I don't want to be excluded from the group. Because when you're excluded of the group, you're going to die, kind of just survivalist brain pretty much. So then you grow up and then you go into your adult life of always hiding this part of yourself to anyone because you're afraid to be rejected by them. So then what happens when somebody tells you, oh, I love you, like I really love you, you kind of look at this and think, I don't think so, because you don't even know me.
Yes, John.
And they don't know you because you never opened those parts of yourself to show in the first place. And more than this,
you only love one side of me.
Yes,
you don't love the whole me.
And the worst part is that part, or let's say that singing part, you even yourself neglected as well, and you don't even allow yourself to sing. So that's why we become very lonely, because we do not allow ourselves to see our true self, the whole us, and showing to other people. And when I read that, I was like, oh my gosh, that explains so many things. That's why there's so many people lonely, because we're just afraid to show ourselves.
So do you show yourself now?
I am now, even if people don't want it. I'm like, yes, I'm a very hyper, and then I can be starting yelling, and I'm a very passionate person. And if you don't like that, find somebody else to love.
So you used to withhold that withhold that part of yourself before you realized this?
Oh, absolutely. Because I knew what people will tolerate, what they wouldn't. And for example, I was married for 13 years and then I ended the marriage because I realized that's not even me. That's not who I am. I was super unhappy. And when I realized I was not even allowing myself to express myself because I was afraid that I will be discarded, I will be excluded from the group, meaning out of my marriage. And when someone grows up in a dysfunctional family where they're always afraid of being left behind, there is this fear of abandonment that really impacted all my life, how I was dealing with people, not only in the romantic setting, but with friends, also with coworkers, with anywhere there is a group included. I was so afraid to tell my point of view that I just pretty much abandoned of who I was. So when I started speaking up, my friends were like, wow, we had no idea you had this inside you. So
they seen a different side of you.
Yeah, but you know, it takes a lot of courage to really tell yourself, like, I am going to not allow myself to be me. Just being with yourself, it's already a big deal. But if someone grows up in a dysfunctional family where they were not allowed to be themselves, they were always trying to portray to be somebody else or mimic somebody else, it can take time for someone to actually realize what is that they really want. Who are they? You know, you have to go through a lot of courage and try many things to find yourself.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find myself. No, I think I found myself, and I mean, that's why I'm doing this, because this is part of myself and it's part of what I want to spread. And just hearing stories like yours, it really is inspiring, because I think people have two choices when they deal with trauma. You either hold on to it and you use it as a victimization of yourself, and you stay stuck in that trauma. Well, I can't do this because I was traumatized. Well, I can't do this because I was traumatized. Or you could say you could grow from it and choose to learn that your trauma is not who you are today, and you have every day to create a new you, because your trauma was in the past, and yes, it hurts, yes, it's traumatic, and you'll always remember it, but every day is a new day to start fresh.
And you know, when I realized that there are many things that I was doing in life because of childhood trauma, it felt very discouraging, because I thought like, oh my gosh, this means I'm damaged. That's it. The rest of my life is going to be thrown out because I will never be a somebody, successful or happy or whatever. But that's what I want to tell everyone is no matter what environment you grow up in, nobody is perfect also, and we all damage in our own way. But that is the beauty of this. This is why we're all unique. We don't have to be anybody else. We just have to be ourselves. And when you think about it, if everything will be perfect, it will be super boring. Life is about experience, right? It's all about experience.
We'd all be robots.
It will be just all robots, and that's not what life is. And we're constantly growing and constantly evolving and experiencing ourselves. And I think the beauty of life is really to allowing yourself to be you, and constantly going, even not allowing yourself, it is allowing yourself to be you. Even going against yourself is to knowing your boundaries and thinking, hey, you know, I could do this. I had no idea I could do this. That is also experience.
We have to express how we feel, and I think it's especially like prominent in men, because men, it's like, oh, you're weak, man. Like, why are you like crying? Like, like what are you doing? Like, it's like, man, you know, I went through like adultery moment and cheating and dealing with like heartbreak and stuff, and I didn't even cry. I just felt like all these emotions, and it ended up coming out in well, it took me a long time to cry. Like, I had to force myself to cry. Like, I have to like watch a movie or like listen to like sad music to like trigger. Like, I can't just like sit down and be like just bawl my eyes out. I have to like have like I have to like have something like a sad movie and be like, oh my god, and then it just all comes out. But man, I forgot what I was gonna say again.
Well, but since you forgot what you want to say, until you remember, I can say not necessarily that everybody needs to be like really doing crying. Any understanding your emotion and allowing yourself to be you, it counts. So, for example, you can write a poem. We can just sit and write. You just can sit and write. Or, for example, just go somewhere in the nature, just stare at the waterfall, and you're just staring at something. But because you give that time to yourself, just to be who you are, that is already processing you all those emotions, and you're going through the grieving stages of like losing a relationship and whatever. As long as you're allowing yourself to be you and not really forcing, because even if you are forcing yourself to cry, that's still abandoning yourself, because that's not what you really want to do. That's not your really nature. And I'm not saying you personally, but like talking about you. So as long as you find a way how you allow yourself to be who you are and get those emotions out, it doesn't matter how they come out. Even somebody could be super angry and beat the pillow, but if that works for them, then power to it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I wasn't allowing myself to feel anything. Like, I was like, man, I just have to be strong and just move on. But I knew, like, deep down, it's like sometimes all you need to do is get a good cry in. Like, honestly, because it's like, and this is for like the man, it's like sometimes you just need to express your damn emotions, man. Like, just express yourself, like, because then it ends up showing out, it comes out in different ways. And like, for me, for a long time, I was having night sweats, and I didn't know why. I was having like soaking wet night sweats. Like, I would wake up and my pillow and blanket would, like, you could like wring it out type of sweat. And I was like, why why am I feeling this way? And you just have to allow yourself the emotions and know that it's okay to cry sometimes, man.
Yes, because the emotions, they just get stuck in the body and then they manifest themselves as illness. Or worse, like you become just an addict because it will be so painful they will try to run away from that pain.
Hey everyone, if you liked this video clip, then I think you'll like the full episode. And while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.